Hey, how's it going, guys? Vinny with Tank Slangs here. We're gonna do a little disassembly video. I had contacted Tom about the extraction issues, and he is sending over a new bolt head so I could swap in, and hopefully that will fix the issues that I had in the previous videos where I shot the 100 rounds. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I took off some of the attachments just so it's easier to move this thing around. I'm going to start with these rear pins. Got my little tool here. And so, just to show you, I can push these in. I can pull them out, but they do get a little stiff. Well, this one is a little less stiff now than last time I pulled them out in the first short disassembly video. Okay, so what I do is I just slide this rear plate out a little bit, and then I put this pin back in. That way it traps the trigger group in there, because if you don't, the trigger group might slide out a little bit, and then when you pull your bolt all the way out, the hammer will go forward. So, just put that pin in there, make your life a little bit easier. That way you don't have to fight the hammer whenever you're putting the bolt back in. All right. So for that, you just pull this right on out. I will set this aside. And then we'll flip this back over here. Alrighty, so from here, same thing like my other video. You just push this forward. That way you can free the charging handle. We're just gonna keep this together because there's really no point for me to separate these two. Set that aside. Remove the recoil spring. And then here we have the bolt carrier group. All right. So there is this pin right here. All right. On this end, it is smaller than this end. So take your little tool and push it on out. It is held by this little O-ring. And so we'll set that aside right there. And then what's next is once that is free, your firing pin can come out. So you can just push your bolt head in and then remove your firing pin. There is a firing pin spring in there that is trapped by this. So what you can do is lift this out of the way, and then you can either use, a tool or your firing pin to pull that out like such. All right, and then we're just gonna put this back together. That way it's in the same spot. And then from here, we will pull out this. All right, like such. And then bolt head comes right out. And that is pretty much it. Let's see if I can. Yep. All right. I did wipe this down before. I do see some carbon or whatever residue. So we will look that up. And then we'll go ahead and relube this off camera. But here it is, the bolt head. You got your extractor, and then your extractor pin, I guess this is. So this is a little stiff, I'd say, but I mean, I've never messed with the MP7 before, so I don't know how stiff they are or are not supposed to be. This is really tight. So, compared to my SR25 or my SR15, MP5, all the other guns that I have, I mean, they're stiff, but not as stiff as that. So maybe that's an issue. So there it is. We're going to assemble it back together. And so what you want to do is put your extractor to the opposite side, like such. Slide it in. And then you're going to want this piece parallel. because that is where your firing pin goes. All right, so boom, easy. And then you're just gonna put this in one piece back in. And so this groove here is where this sits, I'm assuming. Okay, so we're gonna want this up. And don't forget to pick up that little metal piece. And then it'll slide in like that. And then if you can see through that hole, it's nice and clear. That way you can put this pin back in. Let's see. There we go. All right, and you just give a good old push. And if it's still not flush, as you can see there, take a little plastic piece and push it down. And now it is flush. All right, and then we will assemble that back into the gun. So line your recoil spring and rod up with the end of the end cap, push it together, and now it's one piece again. From here, we'll bring the gun back into view. And so as you can see here, the hammer is not up. All right, so we are all clear. Let's put this back together. So I did not remove the rear pin, so we're gonna push this in all the way. That way. All right, and then from here, we will remove that pin at the bottom, push it in, and then reassemble like that, and like that. So I will say that these pins have definitely loosened up from the first video I did, disassembling it, like some other people have mentioned. I hope they don't loosen up anymore, because right now, I mean, they're as stiff as a, well, they're pretty stiff. Oh, that one is about as stiff as like a normal AR-15 receiver pin. And then this one is still pretty tight, so that's good. I don't want those flying out on me. But there it is. That's how you disassemble the bolt carry group for the Tommybuilt T7. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. As always, thank you for your time. And if you're looking for one of the most comfortable slings on the market, be sure to check out Tank Slang's